silverback gorilla in the concrete jungle. I'm the strongest around. You know how I get down. This is Mark Belbin, SuperTraining.tv, Super Training Gym, the strongest gym in the West. This message is brought to you by HowMuchYouBench.net and the Power Magazine. We got a lot of freaking questions to get to today. You guys are hounding me, but it's a good thing. I took on the mission of being the people's coach, so here we go. I got work to do. We got a guy doing some deadlifts with 635 pounds. He's doing multiple repetitions, and he wanted me to kind of critique his form. This guy looks like he weighs about 220, 230, and he's pulling 635 with no belt. Let me see if I can film it for you here. Just kind of watch it through a little bit, and we'll talk about his form. To me, the form looks pretty good. I would say that if he used a lighter weight for multiple sets, like if he did 3 sets of 3, would say 615, that he can work on cleaning up his form more. But considering he doesn't look like a huge guy, and 635 pounds for multiple repetitions, it's pretty impressive. And the form that I saw, for the most part, looked pretty good. Let's see what we can see here. As he starts to dip down into position, should really coach his eye some of this stuff, but I'm being lazy. He kicks the weight forward a little bit there, back rounds out a little bit, butt shoots up, but he doesn't get too far forward over the bar. He gets a little bit forward, but not too bad. He's still able to finish the weight out with really no problem. I do like that he stops and starts again, rather than just trying to bounce him off the floor. So the form there is pretty good. That's your form check. One thing I would say to work on is to maybe just don't dip your hips down quite as much. You do a great job of pulling your chest up and pulling your shoulders up. Chest is up, shoulders are up. Your hips are in this position because you already started your pull. Whoops. Whoops-a-daisy. Back her up here. Let's get to rep number 1. That's the one that counts. So here we go. And see the butt kind of shooting up there? I would say that just leave your booty a little higher. Leave it like right there. And pull from there. And you'll have a lot more of your body weight back behind the barbell. So you won't get that little push forward that you got right there if you just start with your hips a little bit higher. So let's get to the next question here. We got another form check. This one's in the squat. This guy is squatting about 400 and something pounds. Again, doesn't look like a huge guy. I'm always impressed when I see anybody lifting big weights is always impressive, no matter what their size is, really. But it's pretty impressive when you see the smaller guys. This guy, I believe, said he was 6'2" and about 235. That's not a squatter's build, but he's still handling some weight here. So this is, he's going to do a squat here, and I'll do the same thing with this one. We'll check the technique. Got to check yourself before you wreck yourself, right? We got some weird commentary going on. Let's see if we can listen to that again. That's amazing. I don't know if that's his girlfriend or like an 11-year-old boy or what's going on. But it's funny, nonetheless.
Yeah, come on. Easy weight. Up. Come on. Yeah.
Whew.
Nice.
I like that. And then a little celebration with the camera. Okay. This guy was saying that he has a new sticking point, and actually, you know what? That's great news that you have a new sticking point, because that means that you broke through your old sticking point. And so there's always going to be a point where you get screwed over. And you also mentioned that the only assistance work you really do for squatting is wide stance box squats, but I would also add in things like leg presses, leg extensions, leg curls. I would get into your hamstrings a little bit more. The reason why you have a sticking point where you do is because that's the part of the lift where your hips get into the least advantageous position that they can be in. So here, as you come down, what happens there is your hips will kind of swing under the bar, and then you're able to project or kind of rebound out of the bottom and propel and push the weight upward. Your hips will kind of swivel underneath, especially for those of you with good mobility. You'll really see it kind of swivel underneath. You'll be able to pop it up out of there. Once you pop it up out of there, then your butt will shoot back. And then when your butt is back where my fat meaty paw is, by the video game muscles right there. When your butt shoots up like that, then your hips are far away from the bar, so your hips are taken out of position. It'd almost be like if someone had a band attached to your belt behind you, and they pulled on it as you were squatting. It'd feel like, holy crap, I can't get my hips back underneath the bar, and that's kind of what happens to everybody. So you have to get your hips underneath the bar in order to break parallel properly. You have great squatting depth. One thing I would suggest is, to me, it looks like you're a little collapsed in here. I would maybe think about getting some Olympic shoes and trying that out. I bet you'll get to depth even more efficiently. So that might be something to think about. But you got to bring up your quad strength. So I would do some pause squats. So you're right here. You're still going up. And you get stuck, and you still stay upright, which is great.
Come on, yeah.
And you're able to push through it.
Up. Come on.
So some recommendations for assistance work would be more of everything, which is always the case. But some heavy ab work would be great. That's going to help you stay more upright. Good mornings are always good exercise, just as an assistant movement. You don't need to kill yourself with them. You don't need to go super duper pooper scooper heavy on them. And we got to get into those hamstrings a little bit with a couple different exercises. A pull through would be good exercise. You can look that up. You can do that at a commercial gym with just a cable. It looks funny. It looks like you're kind of whacking yourself in the nuts. But that's a good exercise to help kind of bring up those hammies. But also you got things like leg curls and stuff like that. And the reason why I said leg press is because I think it can help build up your groin and build up your quads. But another main movement that would be very important, or even an assistance movement, would be pause squat. So pause down there. Have someone go 1, 2, 3, up. When they say up, you fire the weight up. You're going to have to cut the weights way down. So get used to that one being a ball buster. Let's see, we got a few more. We're getting close to the 8-minute mark here, so I don't want to go on for too long, if there is such a thing, from the People's Coach. But we do have another participant here, if I can find it. I flagged it somewhere. All right, this guy Eric Kim, he has got a question about, from Austin, Texas. He's got a question about why Rhino wears his belt so high on his deadlifts. There's a bunch of guys kind of doing this now. George Lehman, Baby Slayer, he's one of them. Stan Efferding is one of them. Eric Lillibridge is one of them. But the first person I ever saw do it was Konstantin Konstantinovs of Russia. He's Russian, by the way. But he was the first one I saw do it. Now, keep in mind, most of the guys that I just mentioned don't have a big, even though George Lehman is like 900 pounds, he doesn't really have like a big waist. He's got small hips. So what happens to a lot of these guys, when they put the belt on, they crank it down and they fasten it down real tight. All it does is like kind of hurt their hips. It just digs into their hips, and that's not where their stomach is the largest. So they're putting the belt up higher where their stomach is the largest. Konstantin, Stan, Eric Lillibridge, all those guys kind of have a little bit of a distended abdomen. KK and Stan especially have enormous ab muscles, just huge like blocks of stomach muscle, and Efferding even kind of has almost like a distended abdomen a little bit when he's big for his powerlifting meets. And so he's wearing the belt where he feels the bestest. Also, he likes to wear the belt. Stan Efferding's lats, I mean, everybody's lats do this. Everyone's lats have the same insertions pretty much. They go all the way down into your hip. Some of you may not have known that. But Stan Efferding, you can actually see it. You can actually see that sucker coming all the way down from his hip all the way up. So he basically is kind of wrapping his lats up too. So he's wrapping up the upper abdomen. He's also wrapping up the lats. And let's see how he does it right here with 835 pounds. Oh, great. Now it's going to load forever. Now I can see myself. Hey. Dan Green's also a guy with some monstrous lats. But he doesn't wear the belt high. He's wearing a Spud Inc. belt, by the way. Those are pretty cool. Easy, strong pull. Looked like he could have done a couple repetitions with it. I apologize. That's actually 815 pounds, not 835 pounds. Very strong pull by him. He's also wearing knee wraps. That's something that he likes to mess with a little bit, just to give him a little more rebound, a little more pop out of the bottom of the lift. The Spud Inc. belt is something that will wrap around your body a little bit better than a regular power belt. Regular power belts, especially on thin-waisted lifters, guys that are in good shape, the belts don't really grab the lower back. I'll point it out to you. We're getting short on time. But it doesn't really grab the lower back the way that this belt does. See how there's no space there? With a regular power belt, there would be space there. Remember this, peeps. Strength is never a weakness. I got to get out of here, and that is it from supertraining.tv.